Hey y'all, what's going on? This is my recap and review for Married to Medicine, Season 10, Episode 7, The Grapes of Wrath. Okay. So I'm like a day late with this because I wanted to make sure that I was like paying attention to the vlogs and all the lives and the interviews and stuff like that, which if y'all haven't watched, Carlos King did an interview with Quad, and then Carlos had a live. Carlos and Heavenly, they did their weekly live or whatever that got a little interesting, if you ask me. So I want to make sure I caught up on all that before I got to giving y'all this. So please excuse me, but hello everybody. Make sure you are liking the video, as my good sis Nola Reeds said. Make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're hitting that notification bell so you know every time I upload. Make sure you are also checking the description box below so you are abreast to any of the information that is there. Make sure you're subscribed to all of my social medias as well. They're scrolling along the bottom of the screen now, and they're also in the description box. And then once we conclude this live, let's continue the conversation down in the comments below. Shout out to the replay gang. But like I was just saying to you guys, it's a lot. It's a lot going on in the show, and we really don't want the things that are happening on shows such as The Real Housewives of Potomac, which if you did not catch my review on that, make sure you go ahead, because it is up there. Just got done with that. Make sure you go ahead and check that out as well. But I hope we don't see the same things happening on the show. And I think there's a couple like pieces of advice or rules of the game, if we shall, that I would just like to just throw out there right now that can potentially assist with this show not going in the same route as some other shows or whatever. And that is, you always need to give your just due, y'all. On these shows, you know, everybody always talks about how this person was, you know, was carrying the show over here, or this person had an undeniable, the audience had an undeniable affinity for this person over here, or whatever. You always need to give your just due, period. That's the same thing as when Nene gives Kenya her credit in saying that, the show needs her because she's good TV. Like, at the end of the day, you could not like somebody, but you still need to keep it 1,000. And if they're playing their part and doing what they need to do, then there's no reason why you should have any qualms with giving them their just due, even if you don't like them. Personally, a fact is a fact. Secondly, there is always going to be a breakout star. Typically, there's always going to be a individual amongst the cast that the audience flocks to, that they really enjoy or go up for. A lot of times we see it, and it's the underdog. And honestly, with this show was no different. So when people like Heavenly get on here and try to not recognize Quad as, the breakout star, at least at one point in time, I have an issue with that. Because I don't like when people act like they don't know that they just can't give their just due. Like, I really don't like that. And it's more of a reflection of you than the other person. Because I'm always keep it real, regardless. So, and then the last thing I really wanted to bring up is, it was giving Mean Girl. Y'all, if you watch the episode, then you know what I'm saying. It was giving Mean Girl. It was giving very much like unwarranted in the moment, because again, just like with other shows, why are we continuing to start in the middle of stuff and not at the beginning? They didn't see it for Quad from the day one, y'all. And for some reason, we continue to just look past, we being them, really, not we, because we see what we see. But we continue to just skirt on pie all the things that were done or hurled in Quad's way. But for some reason, we got to slam on the brakes right here and get her together. Otherwise, we cannot go forward. You owe us an apology, period. Like, why is that what we're seeing right now? Why? I'm not really disappointed, because honestly, again, I don't know anybody on this cast personally, so it really don't matter. However, from what I've seen of Simone, like she be nasty. She's been being nasty with some of her actions that we've seen over the years. So this was pretty synonymous with her character, if you ask me. And like my sis said, yes, we are back. Make sure you're liking the video. But nonetheless, let's just go on by, and I'll probably drop the link too if anybody wants to come up here. Because like I said, there was a lot of reviews and interviews and lives and so much getting tossed around this week. But again, with this show, we open up. We're still at dinner. We're still at the Quad walking into the lion's den, if you will, because that's honestly what it was giving. And y'all, by no means am I going to sit here and act like Quad has never done anything that these women could have an issue with, that Quad hasn't played her part in stuff as well. She 100% has. However, I can't say that the things that she's saying are invalid or should be discredited. I think that they're just as equally important. Y'all have your qualms with her. She has her qualms with y'all. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? And you keep trying to, Jackie, you keep trying to attribute things to when she got on Sister Circle and stuff like that. Y'all, according to which I'm pretty sure we knew this prior to this. Well, I'm not gonna say knew this prior to this. Saw prior to this. Quad at that party or whatever, when she was going on about the Sister Circle and how, it meant a lot to her during that point in time. Like, she had almost given up on, friendships and stuff like that at that time. She was also going to give the women their just due. However, people really stand in their own way a lot of time, and she was going to give y'all your just due if you would just hold on for 2 seconds and be patient. But no, nobody wanted to do that. All y'all wanted to do was have your booties on your back because she didn't say y'all first, or you thought that it was shade to y'all or whatever. I have an issue with that. Toya wanting an apology from Quad for accusing her of a crime, yet turns around and accuses the new lady husband. Wait, what? Dr. Alicia? She accused him of, wait. What did I miss? Did I miss that? Oh, I meant Heavenly. Yeah, kind of synonymous with her character too, but it's really, I'm not even disappointed in her as much as I'm just like looking at her crazy, because she sounds like really delusional a lot of times, especially when she says things along the lines of, and I think this was in the yeah, this was in the live that she had with Carlos, but she says things such as Jackie is a professional and she wouldn't lie. I have an issue with stuff like that because you know how many doctors and professionals and people that have licenses do crazy every day. So you're going to tell me that, so you're going to sit here and tell me that just because this woman is a doctor means that she wouldn't lie at all, like ever. But I'm pretty sure if we look back, can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm sure if we look back, she's lied or she's done something. Like, we're not gonna, are you really gonna sit here and say that to us and use that as justification? Like, I'm not saying that she's a complete non-credible source, but her rationalizations I can't get behind. Or even how later on in the episode, when we're talking about husbands and fathers watching the kids from time to time, she wanted to, I guess, use the justification of saying, oh, well, yeah, Damon watched Lil Damon when he was 3 months old or whatever. And it's like, girl, you have 3 kids and 3 months, like that was one time. I don't know. Her rationalizations I can't get behind and they irritate me. So that's honestly where I'm at with it. The footage of her giving them, the footage of her. Oh, you mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, literally went on to try to locate y'all in the audience or whatever, and y'all were just so pissed that you were like, no, we just gotta leave right now. Like, she's not about to play in our faces like this, when the whole time, like, she wasn't trying to. So we're gonna, and then again, going back to that moment, even before that, can we still talk about all the things that y'all have done or said to her or whatever? Like, she came in the door and y'all was tearing her down. And I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact when Heavenly says things as far as like, oh, they don't have anything to lose, talking about like the Toyas and the quads and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, just because somebody doesn't have a medical license doesn't mean that they don't have anything to lose per se. Like, I get what you're trying to get at here, but let's just stop it right there, because again, your rationalizations behind things, they don't make sense. So just because Quad doesn't have a medical license to lose in the matter doesn't mean that she doesn't have anything to lose, because last time I checked, right, I don't know if her nephew is still there, but I know that she assists, she supports, like her mom is living there and stuff, and she does lend herself to those around her and stuff like that. So you don't know who could be depending on her and stuff like that. So no, I do think that people have things to lose, or just because the things that people have to lose are different than the things that you have to lose, it doesn't mean that one is more or less than the other. We're not going to sit here and try to tear each other down just because you got this, that, and the other thing going on, and I only have this going on. Like, we're not comparing hardships, or we're not doing that. I've always had a really, really, really great disdain for stuff like that. And I want to say it stems back to something in the military. Different story for a different day. But I have a really big issue when people try to compare and contrast things like that, because you don't know what that person has going on, or you don't know, like, if that is just a really big deal in that person's life or whatever. Just because you see something small doesn't mean that the other person, that's not a big deal to them. So I can't get behind when people talk like crazy like that. It's just, and then they also think that they're the smartest person in the room at the same time. It's like, something's not clicking up there. Something's off. And I don't want no parts of it. As Dr. Leach, I must have, I stopped and started that live so much. I must have came in and completely missed that part because that's crazy to me. Yeah, that's crazy to me. And I feel like Toya showed her hand when she kind of let it be known, or was coming off like, okay, by hook or by crook, we're going to, like, it's all good if everybody's supporting her, or if because everybody has an issue with Quad or whatever, she's cool with it. But you seen how she wasn't letting up when Quad came into that bachelorette and all that. Like, she wasn't going to let up on that until Quad left or whatever. So Toya plays her weird hand too. She was explaining what Heavenly was explaining. What you talking about? Heavenly was explaining. Talk about when she said, yeah, I gotta go back. Clearly, like I said, see y'all. It's too many. There's too many things going on, and I just be missing parts sometimes. So bear with me. But again, wow, I've been like talking for 15 minutes already, and I didn't even really get into it for real. But y'all, like I said, we were still at dinner, and we pick up with Heavenly telling Quad that she used her friendship. I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. Yes, was it probably mighty convenient that Quad hit your line after getting off of Phaedra and them kind of like having their whatever momentary issue, whatever? Yes, it is coincidental, but like, we're still not, that doesn't negate the fact that you literally get up on this same platform and talk about this lady who's supposed to be your friend, your sister, whatever. You talk about her like she's anything but. And you think it's cute, you think it's funny, you think it's all these things, but if I was her, I wouldn't fuck with you either. Period. Like, no. I couldn't do it with people like that. Like, it's just not funny at this point because it just gives off Mean Girl before anything, y'all. Because this is coming from somebody who I honestly, I started watching this show before Heavenly, honestly, for being 100% real. But yeah, she's thrown me off in the last like episode or two. And the whole and I also want them to stop trying to like roll out, and by them I really mean Simone in this particular moment. I really want them to stop trying to roll out the red carpet for Phaedra too. Like she is nobody. Like we not bowing down because she's done her amount of horrible things as well. And y'all really thought she was about to come over here and save this show. I'm not gonna say save because we weren't drowning or anything over here, but you really thought that she was going to come over here and make such a splash and do all these great, amazing things when we haven't seen anything of the sort from her except for her facilitating the BS around. So pretty much it was just each side conveying their hurt, and it was clear that neither side was backing down at this point. And I said on Twitter, I literally tweeted, I was like, Quad, let this be an eye-opener for you. Let this be a moment where you realize that, I think she said later on the episode that the friendship was never real, but the hate was. Apparently, you don't say. Hate that you had to find out this way, but it was giving Mean Girl ambush. Afterwards, they all, minus Quad, Sweet Tea, and Dr. Alicia, of course, they all go back to Toya's room and they kind of recap what went down. And the first thing I slam on the brakes with this scene right here is how apparently Jackie has told Heavenly numerous times that she shouldn't keep going back to Quad when she freaking shits on her, pretty much. And again, we're starting in the middle. Once for the umpteenth time, we were starting in the middle because Jackie, how are you going to sit here and say that Quad or say that Heavenly shouldn't go and seek out Quad or whatever because she's on her? But again, y'all were this close to Xing out Heavenly from the group last season because she again gets up on this platform and says all types of stuff. Are we just gonna we're just not gonna talk about that? We're not gonna address it. We're just gonna literally put that in a box in the corner, and that completely has nothing to do with anything. Do you see how crazy that sounds? And again, I'm literally so over the sister circle thing because, like I said, we know the truth about that situation, or at that event and all that. So that's not even a part of it for me. I don't care. Y'all were probably looking for something to bite down on in that moment so that you could act this way towards her and stuff like that. Because and I'm the last person to call anybody jealous or make it about jealousy or anything like that. But I've been looking at folks weird since I was on one of the earlier episodes of this season when I want to say it was Heavenly, when somebody was making mention of how like Quad was traveling and doing all these things and stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, and she's single, she has no kids, she got money in the bank, all these things. So they don't even come from a place, they don't even talk from a place of we were friends, we are friends, or anything like that, or we want to see this woman do well or anything like that. Like, because at the end of the day, if someone's my friend, like I'm gonna be, oh, you on vacation? Yes, I want to be on vacation. I'm liking all the pictures. I'm commenting all the comments. They don't really like her, and they never did. Quad has asked Heavenly to stop calling her. Yes, she continues to do so. So why am I going to be hitting up the person continuously that speaks on me as if we're not really friends? Like, because I don't there's certain things I don't call and say to my friends, like, and this is not something I feel like we should be having to try to teach somebody who's made it in life and is the smartest person in the room and has all these accolades and licenses and certifications and all these things and wants to have a university and all this stuff in their name. Like, there's no reason why we should have to continue to pause and explain these things. It's giving you don't care. And if you don't care, then that's fine. Or I'm not going to say you don't care. You just want to do what's in the best interest of the show. You're just doing all this on the basis of the show and all that, which that's fine too. But I couldn't be friends with nobody like that. AJ did nothing but prove people right that she was a sham fraud. Yeah. And then whatever, I'll say it right now because who cares? We find out that she's not even with the man no more, if she ever was, and she's on to a new doctor. Who cares? Because are we really gonna sit here and that I can't even. That's a whole different train wreck over there. Yeah, because that's how friends act. When you see your friends doing something or whatever, you don't say like things that can be taken out of context or coming off as though you're firing shots at them. But that's literally what I get every single time from her. And the reason why I know it's on purpose and not just an accident or whatever, her saying things that she shouldn't be saying, is because this woman, when she's not praising naming and stuff like that, I feel like this woman literally, her freaking her vacation home, like if Damon is home, her vacation home is up Jackie's ass. Like, the woman lives, Jackie can do no wrong in this woman's eyes. And y'all, if you guys have been paying attention, I don't have the clip, I could probably find it, and if we got time for that, I'll play it. But Jackie's another one that's been kind of on people's SHIT lists, because she's not a girl's girl either. And you guys are probably like, girl, you just finding that out? Like, we've been doing that since the whole thing with Buffy. Yeah. But if we're talking about people doubling down on stuff, well, that was my last video. But anyway, if we're talking about people doubling down on stuff, then you probably already know why I'm saying that. And that's because she said, she being Jackie, said some things that really rubbed me the wrong way as it pertains to Black women and the healthcare system and getting medical care and stuff like that. She said some things that I really couldn't get down with. And I feel like, again, coming from a professional, she shouldn't have said. But here we are. Anyway, and going back, oh, this is about to be long. Oops, sorry, y'all. But going back, Simone says that she can be around Quad and remain cordial, and there's no issues. And I'm like, there shouldn't be, because last time I checked, there really, especially as it's one thing between her and Holly, Heavenly, her and Toya, that's another thing. Her and freaking whoever else, like, they all have their individual things. However, the whole Quad and Simone thing, there really should not be an issue. But that doesn't really make sense, because every time I turn around, and I've been saying it since episode 1 of this season, especially, that every time I turn around, both Simone and Cecil got something to say sideways or shady towards Quad. So you would have thought that y'all had an issue, but okay. Cap. So then they all whoever decide to call Quad down and tell her the truth, which is they ain't got nothing for her and she might as well leave. So they do that. Toya calls her. She comes on down, her Versace robe, and we're having an OG powwow. OG meaning OGs? Yeah. There was OGs in the building, and then there was Heavenly, because we keep starting in the middle with that too. Technically speaking, she's not an OG, but they do this like superiority thing on this show, I feel like, and I don't like that either. And superiority from a place of like, oh, because we're doctors, or we're the professionals of the bunch. And then the age thing too. Like, don't play age games with me, please don't, because just because you're older than me doesn't mean that you're any more quote unquote grown to me, or that I can't verbally hand your ass to you. And I'll never go disrespect nobody first, but you're not going to sit here and try to little girl me every 2 seconds and think that I'm going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, and be all like inferior because you're old. Like, you just talk to me crazy because you're older and you got a freaking MD, PhD, whatever, behind your name. Like, are we, what? Inflated egos is what I see a lot over here. And I don't like that. Don't like that at all. So when she comes down and stuff, and they all circle around and everything, Simone I gotta be the mouthpiece, I guess, for obvious reasons, y'all. She speaks up and says that they, as a group or whatever, have decided based on the fact that none of them, and I didn't paraphrase this part at all, none of them have an emotional connection with her being quad at this time, that it's just not going to work, and they're basically they're asking her to leave the trip. See, quad's better than me because I probably would knock everything over, because you're not going to sit here and try to make it seem like I am the freaking leftovers, and I'm just so disposable because you guys don't want to take 2 seconds to hear what I have to say about the situation and how everybody else is allowed to have an issue with stuff, but I'm not. But again, quad takes it better than me because I would have been going off. But like, she handles it better than me, and she says she wasn't expecting that at all. Like, it definitely really hurts to be in this place with them. And I'm like, do you really? I mean, and this is not me trying to call her a liar or anything like that, but I'm like, I do really? Because if I was you, I wouldn't give a damn. I wouldn't care at all. Like, what? I would not care. So then I want to ask you guys this. Do you guys think, I mean, given the state of things now, do you guys think that the resurrection was an epic failure, as Simone said? Or do you think this would have occurred with or without the resurrection happening? Or do you think that just made things worse? Or like, what do you guys think about the state of where things are and the resurrection, and all that? I want to know how you guys think about that. And since when has Dr. Jackie been cussing this whole season? Last time I checked, I didn't think that she'd be cussing like that, but I was like, oh, I guess you're cussing now, because she said bullshit. I know she did. They bleeped it out, but I know they did. But it was all I could think right there was just going back to what I said before. Mean Girls, unnecessary. We're starting in the middle when we should be starting from day one, season 1, episode 1. Like, at all hasn't been. And I'm gonna get on her again later on because she's a little delusional too. I don't know what's up with that. Hey, Feisty. How are you doing today on this Tuesday, this lovely Tuesday? Hey, cousin. Barb, this is Shirley, and I want to tell you I'm not getting notifications. Ooh, I'm sorry, I don't, are they on? I don't know, maybe because I'm just been, maybe I need to be more consistent with my time, see, because maybe that's why, because yeah, y'all all just came in here. I mean, I feel special, but yeah, that's gotta mean something. Hey, Yvette, how are you? And Ellen, oh, all my folks are here. Dr. Superiority Complex is work. Like, how can you literally be old Mean Girls? Just because you are quote unquote professionals does not mean that you're above reproach, and that we should just completely overlook the things that y'all be doing just because you do it in a more classy or a more bougie way. Bougie being Jackie. That's just to mean that we can't tell you about yourselves, or she can't have an issue with some of the things and some of the treatment that she's received over the years. Like, whatever. The next morning, we got this. I mean, I wasn't sad per se or anything like that, because I think that she should leave, and that's for her best interest. Quad, yeah, I wouldn't even came because they were plotting on this. So go ahead, collect your stuff, get on out of there, go back and leave them where they at. which if y'all haven't heard by now, she supposedly supposed to spin the block on us. So not supposedly, she's literally going to spin the block on us. We're going to see her again. So honestly, I would leave them exactly where they are, because last time I checked, Simone don't got so much stuff going on that we just gonna be just so drawn into it. Jackie, no, she's on a lot of our lists lately because she's not all what she's cracked up to be apparently either. Toya, yeah, she's got this wine thing going for the first time ever. Like, we're seeing her kind of like doing some stuff, but for the most part, yeah, there. Like, were we gonna watch her play tennis for 5 hours a day, even though we know that she don't be playing tennis for 5 hours a day? But and Dr. Alicia, this is the first time that we got to confess, y'all. Oh my God, we should have been toasting to this. Dr. Alicia, we finally got a freaking confessional from her, and you know, somewhat of a scene with her, like, kind of ish. I mean, it was with everybody, but again, whatever. Pigs were flying here. Were they flying over there with y'all? We finally got a little bit of a glimpse into what she's got going on. Automatic red flags. I just calling it like I see it. I don't know if that's what y'all picked up on, and I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but automatic red flags over there. But nonetheless, we did get we finally got a little bit with her, so whew, thank God. But none of them really have a lot going on to the point that we're going to be so enthralled with Quad not being around. And it's also not saying that, like, oh my gosh, Quad just has all of these things going on too. I mean, I don't know. I don't really keep up with people like on social media and stuff like that. But I know that Quad, being the person that she is, would have definitely been making some things shake and happen so that she can show up more interesting than what we're going to be left with probably. And Sweetie, she not going to give us nothing else really, because what? The wedding's over. I mean, I do want to see I'm assuming that's going to be Jackie. I do want to see, because we did get the mid-season trailer or whatever at the end of this. I do want to see her gather. It seems like it's going to be Jackie. So I am waiting for that. And there was a couple other moments that I'm looking forward to. It's Kurt. I hope we focus a little bit of the spotlight on Curtis too, because I'm always going to question Jackie's judgment, and just based on the sheer fact that that man is still around. But honestly, y'all, not gonna lie, and I'm rambling here, but just roll with me. I honestly was quite confused and quite shocked to see Curtis again, but then I wasn't, because I'm like, oh, it seems as though he can show up for all the guys stuff, but I didn't see him and Jackie have like one scene together. Just saying. Food for thought. They need her footage now that Quad gone. Something. Because right now, as it stands, we're not really left with that much. And we already know, I didn't even say Phaedra, because we already know what that's giving. Nothing, as usual. So she really, she pulled a, I might have to give it up to her this year. That was a good one. Because she came in this knowing dang well she wasn't about to give up anything that we really wanted to hear and see and be privy to, whilst collecting probably the biggest bag over there. Because you know that she came, we already know, obviously, based on the fact that she's not new to this, she came in saying, hey, yeah, this number right there times like 25 million. Yeah, we already know. So she didn't come cheap, is what I'm saying. Pretty much. Person with one of the big old. Can you please don't talk like that? Because, literally, because oh my gosh, Jackie and Curtis had that confessional scene when she told him he better not touch the stripper. Yeah, don't they do those after everything is filmed anyway? And the stripper would have already been touched, so she just got to say that in front of us. But she knows that he's going to do whatever he want to do, and that's just going to be what it's going to be. Where am I? And Quad, I also need you. I'm hoping you were just saying that for scene's sake. I don't know why that you were so taken aback by Heavenly's behavior, because she's supposed to be your friend, but you understood that, Toya, where you and Toya stand with it, so you weren't surprised by that. I don't know why you continue to address this woman as friend. She really, have you had a good friend? Do you need a good friend? Because if this is your representation of a good friend, Jesus, take the wheel. This fan is getting on my nerves, y'all. Sorry. Anyway, meanwhile, the rest of the ladies, next day, like I said, rest of the ladies are up and at 'em. Of course, Sweet Tea got to fill in Mister about the previous night. There's a lot of going on, starring, his ex-wife versus all of the rest of the ladies, pretty much. And she lets him know that she just sat there really quiet, and it seems as though things between Quad and the rest of the ladies are, a no more. And Mister tells her that he wants her to stay out of it and put earplugs in. Yeah. So I don't feel like she's gonna. Do y'all feel like she's actually gonna take his advice and not really have much to say or do with the situation? Do you think that she's just gonna steer clear of that situation, Sweet Tea? Or do you feel like she's gonna still have something to say or give her little 2 cents when she shouldn't, as it pertains to Quad and everything? I feel like she's still gonna have something to say when in all reality, because she still is having these little lives and thinking that these other women are really her friend, when you got used. Hate to break it to you. You got used. Toya tells Eugene what happened and how Quad had difficulty receiving that she hurt them. And my thing is, was she the only one at the table having difficulty receiving that, or was everybody else doing the same thing? I feel like if Quad was having difficulty receiving it, y'all were definitely having difficulty receiving it. Like, are we watching the same show? Are we watching the right show, and are you acting out the right things? Because we cannot possibly be talking about the same thing, Toya. Come on. Of course, he was just glad that his wife received, support from the other ladies, and they were kind of after her and stuff like that, whatever. And she tries to downplay it and say, like, no, like, everybody had their own individual things above all else, But we don't know, Toya. You were happy that everyone was taking your side of things. We're not stupid. We know where the vendetta stems from between y'all, and you wanted this to happen seasons ago. That Ninja Turtle built back baby talking trash bag was giddy as a pig, rolling in shite when he found out the girls kicked Quad to the curb and gave him what he wanted. Hell yeah. That's what he sounded like, y'all. And I gotta tell you, joke's gonna be on you, sir, when you see her in a couple more episodes. Like, did you really think You set this girl up for failure, Sweet Tea, first and foremost. We know that you want to be back on the show. You didn't even care about her being on the show, really. You wanted to be on the show, but it's marriage medicine and stuff like that, and centered around ladies. So of course you had to bring a lady with you. But we all know that you the one who actually wants Quad Spot, and you allowed Letitia Sweet Tea to set herself up for failure with this one, y'all. That's just how I see that. Meanwhile, Jackie was prepping for her interview with Vice President Kamala Harris about maternity mortality and how it's a crisis and what they can do to help remedy this. I don't want to say what I'm really saying, because this was, supposed to be a good moment and stuff. And I'm not going to take away from the fact that, this is a serious matter and it's way bigger than the likes of Dr. Jackie and this whole show and everything. So, I mean, again, it was good to get this little segment showcasing such a major issue within the national healthcare system. However, again, still not off Dr. Jackie. I already know y'all know why. But I'm gonna just leave it at there. It's in my throat. So yeah, that was really it, because the rest of the ladies are doing wine things with Toya. Of course, she tells Sweet Tea and Dr. Alicia what all went down in her, last night or whatever, once they went to their rooms and stuff, and how they talked quad and everything, which, I mean, she was just telling them because it was going to be the obvious elephant in the room that was going to come up, not because she really cared, of course. She didn't give a F, if you ask me, because in other news, today's going to be fun, like, as she said. So they're off. Everything's cool. They do the wine tasting whilst having brunch, pretty much like in the heart of the vineyard. It looked really, really, really nice. Definitely can see myself doing that in the future. And of course, though, they're going to keep bringing up the night prior. They're going to keep bringing up quad. They're going to keep bringing up like the tension and everything. And again, going back to Simone, this was another scene that she really, really pissed me off in, because you're going to sit here and try to further dramatize and she really was laying it on thick in that confessional, y'all, talking about, the dark cloud has just been lifted, it's gone, and it's light and airy since quad is gone. And I'm like, again, this is coming from somebody who apparently didn't have an issue with this person. This is coming from somebody who's been saying snide remarks like this all season. I'm clocking you, and the North remembers. Just know that. Yep, just know that. So I just don't like when people talk like that, because it was given like the Wicked Witch is dead type vibes. And I'm like, if I was someone like Simone who says they don't have like a true concrete issue and can be cordial and stuff like that, then you shouldn't be having so much to say every chance you get. Because that, if I was caught, if I was in a situation with you, yeah, you would get cussed out every chance I get. Like, yeah, we would really be in a serious who can be louder that day, because you're the type of person who always got something to say, and I don't like people like that. So anyway, Jackie returns, and she informs them of how the interview went. And again, I also didn't like how Simone said Heavenly is always going to act a fool. Like, again, I feel like at this point I'm probably just honing in on every little thing, more so because she's already pissed me off so much by this far, into the episode with everything. But I'm just like, how can someone like you, who is always the loudest one in the group, how can someone like you, who is literally always trying to be talking about getting crunk and searching for the hardest liquor, how are you gonna say anything about anybody else acting any type of fool when you was always being that person? But whatever. They, as my cousin said before, old A mean girls. You need to add the delusional in there too, because we're not serious with this. I don't even think it's a puppet as much as I think this is really how she is, because we've seen her just do things on her own free will that were wild to me, I feel like. But the mouthpiece. She's used as a mouthpiece, which honestly can't really get mad at them for, because obviously she's probably the best at it. She's always the one that we hear over everybody. However, that does not negate the fact that we're not going to sit here and act like professionals don't get low down with it too. We're not going to sit here and act like that. So, and they weren't even doing like the whole tasting and stuff right. Like Simone, you weren't even doing a tasting right. Like, you weren't even doing the pairings and stuff right. Like, go find some class. Like, go run over there. Like, just ridiculous. Not really understanding why Heavenly needed to take the time to toast a sweet tea, other than the fact that she was used in this situation. And sweet tea, you're sitting there still eating it up, being very naive. Like, you're not even being naive at this point, because you've seen Heavenly in action. You've seen how she comes across and how she gets down and stuff like that. And you've seen how this group is, and you've seen how Quad, you see everything at this point. You've seen all the sides, yet you are still sitting here breaking bread and smiling and giggling and doing whatever, knowing full well at this point that all tables can turn, and they do, and they probably will. So we will remember this moment, because we're not gonna feel bad for you. Just way too giddy. Toya then takes Phaedra, aka the voice of the group, as she put it, with her to meet with Kendall Jackson, the Kendall Jackson folks or whatever, PR people. And did y'all catch? I'm sure you did. Did y'all catch a little Phaedra shade? Because I definitely caught it when she was talking about, oh yeah, finally being in the company of women who are similarly situated. Like, we're all bosses, and I was just like, caught that. Definitely caught that. And I also caught I also was like, are you sure that that's not you saying it when you're talking about some people in the group or whatever, some of the girls think of Toya as, just a lady of leisure who just spends her husband's money and plays tennis all day. I'm like, you were the one who brought up her being a tennis expert just a couple of episodes ago or whatever. So honestly, I feel like that's your idea. This is all your opinions and stuff. So, but we're gonna let you rock. So they're inside. They're meeting with those people, as I just said. And meanwhile, Sweet Tea's outside handing out flasks and stuff. And I was like, see, you're calling the wrong people classless and stuff and all this stuff. Like, why? There is this quality wine here. Like, what's wrong with the wine? Like, just, and I get it. Everybody likes their own particular, some people like wine, some people, some people are beer drinkers, some people, some people like tequila. I don't know. Everybody likes their own stuff. However, just give it a chance. Like, Didn't even try to give it a chance, I feel like. And this is when I was saying before to you guys about how there's all this age shade and stuff like that. I'm like, Simone, maybe she was playing, of course, whatever, calling her sugar baby and stuff like that. But I'm just like, again, I wouldn't continue to just have something to say all the time about someone's age or whatever, when they could say the same things to you. You would probably have that mouth poked out. You'd probably be all upset. So please spare me. And y'all, I mean, it is nice, again, seeing Toya doing something, especially something that she is so passionate about. She's clearly want to see this venture through to furthest possible extent. And, you know, that's cool for her. Can't be mad there. Everybody, and I think that's always something that, for the most part, we can all probably agree on, is that the women on the show, like, they got the business side like down packed, and you know, it is always good to see those little nuggets and stuff and what they got going on as far as that. So there's no shortage of that. So I don't know, maybe we'll just start to nap. We'll get more of the medicine more than like the married parts, maybe. I don't know, like, but because that is unlocked, like I said, over here. Meanwhile, we get this, of course, we always got to get it, you know, the guys in. So we have a scene with them, and they're at like a lounge. Was that like a VR, whatever. They showing their lack of athleticism pretty much. And this is going to be the part where the red flags for me popped up. When I think his name, Kima, I think his name. If I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. I mean, I don't know y'all. This is the first time we're ever even focusing on y'all, but that's Dr. Alicia's husband. I got a major red flag because I think Eugene asked him, was like, oh, you know, how are things going and stuff? You know, you home alone with kids and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, this is first time. Mind you, the daughter is 5 and the son is 1. So yeah, he's, I guess, been you know, having to do his part as a parent and be a hands-on parent. And all I was thinking is like, oof, she got a lot of patience. And I really hope, again, y'all, this is our first scene really with them like that. So I'm not gonna go ahead and just throw it all out there and start saying like, oh, just based off this little snippet, I feel like this it's all bad and she should leave him and stuff like that. No, I'm not going to say that necessarily, but I did look on her social media before. I don't know how long they've been together and stuff like that, but I just hope that they're both able to and are showing up in the best possible way for one another as partners and stuff, because I was like, girl, she hasn't had a break and this whole time, like, that's a lot. And I really, really dislike when people are like, oh, or people like to make it seem like watching their own children, their children, is like babysitting or something. Or I don't believe that just because you're the dad or whatever in a situation, like, you shouldn't be able to watch your kids, and you know, you should know how to do a simple ponytail or two. First of all, taking it above that, shout out to my dad, first of all, number one. Granted, my parents weren't together or whatever, but at this time, but he used to do my hair. He used to hot comb my hair, bro. He used to hot comb. He used to press my hair. My dad knows all the things. Like, when you want to say a girl dad, like, he was very much a girl dad. He's the one that took me school shopping and we was always in the mall. Oh my God. Like, he was very, very hands-on. So when I hear these things cooked, all that stuff. So when I hear things like this and it's just like so freak of nature-ish to not have that time and not be able to just snap into the role of that, like that's just so odd to me. That wouldn't work for me. That was definitely something, although I'm not ready for kids right now, that was definitely something that I sought out in a partner. It's like somebody who I won't have an issue with, that is totally capable, and uh, it wouldn't work for me. But so that was kind of a what y'all got going on, and maybe this has something to do with why, because I'm pretty sure they're both dentists. I think they have their own practice or whatever now. I wonder if that has anything to do with why Dr. Jackie at BravoCon was like, yeah, definitely want to get my dental care from Heavenly, not Alicia, because I don't how she run her stuff is. I wonder if that has anything to do with that, or just based on some other just general drama that we're going to see later on in the season. Big yuck mouth bass has the palate of a drunk toddler driving down the ice. I'm done. Go to the other corner. Sleepy Time has been drinking a lot. They should watch that. She had 2 flasks, dark and light, and that huge glass of Crown Royal. And if you guys have been watching The Real Housewives of Potomac, when we've been discussing fertility and drinking and different stuff, and it's just like, if you are already concerned with that you might have some issues conceiving, I just wouldn't add any. I would just be walking a very, very straight and narrow path, trying to omit anything I could possibly emit in order to, in order to freaking remedy the issue and stuff like that. So yeah, she like my cousin said, yeah, we peeped the drinking, but all right. And of course, Eugene had to inform the rest of the guys about, quad and everything. And this is when Dr. G is so hell yeah. That quad is, out the picture. Joke's gonna be on you, though, as we all know. He don't know at this point that joke will be on him, but it is nonetheless. And when we get back with the ladies, it looks as if it's dinner time now, which is kind of weird because we just left brunch, but whatever. And so then, of course, we get back on. Actually, no, I don't think they didn't really bring up pod at this point, but we did talk about marriages. And Simone says that this year she vowed to pretty much put in additional effort between her and Cecil, because a lot of their issues were petty. And I was like, how do y'all feel about that? Y'all feel like she was blowing smoke up our, booties or what? Because I was looking at her like, yeah, okay, Simone, if you say so. And this is when Heavenly does that whole, I don't, and I'm going to keep saying this until I actually see concrete otherwise, that Heavenly is one of those people that is like, oh, like, yeah, I've been married like all this time or whatever, and it's just been so perfect, so great, and we've been married all this time. It's like, no. Like, that just means that, and again, I might be, who knows? They might genuinely be in like the best loving and really not have had any crazy things happen in all those years that they've been married. But I'm gonna just be realistic for a second right here and say that no, y'all have had your fair share of stuff or whatever. Heavenly's just good at not allowing that to be a topic of discussion on this show. But don't sit here and try to give us an introduction of, oh, like, yeah, they could learn something from us that have been in these younger marriages, can learn something from these older marriages and stuff like that. I'm not saying that that's always not the case or whatnot, or just to cancel out anything anyone ever has to say to you. But I'm just saying, again, I mean, she brought up credible sources and professionalism and all that stuff in the beginning. So all I'm just going to say is just, y'all, just be mindful when people do try to extend advice. And this is just in general. This doesn't even have to just pertain to marital advice or anything like that, as much as just advice in general. Just always just be mindful of the advice that you get and where it's coming from and what that person who, you know, what they got going on or how they think and stuff like that. Because even if you guys haven't had no issues, stuff like that, maybe your dynamic, because I know good and well, Heavenly's dynamic wouldn't work for me. My dynamic might not work for Heavenly. So just be mindful that you got to take people's advice sometimes and kind of fine tune it to fitting your individual situation and stuff like that. Stop drinking and taking fertility. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure, again, we've hit on this with, if you guys watch Real Housewives of Potomac, I'm not, like, why are you, that would be like the first thing. I don't drink, but that would be the first thing that I would do if I was trying to conceive. Just, I don't know. And I ain't got nobody's medical, any type of license. But I feel like that's just common sense. But I guess, you know, we learn every day that common sense is not so common. Dr. Turtleshell kicks his feet like a preschooler who just discovered sugar for fruit. Yeah. Hell yeah. Go buy. I was so corny. They have issues too where, yeah, where Mariah Huck, will you please come to the front? Yeah, that's really what we should be talking about. And again, that's all I was trying to say is that she was just coming from a place of like, oh yeah, all I've ever did is say things that maybe I shouldn't have said. When we all know there's probably over the course of y'all being together, there's got to be something more. So just keep it a buck with us. But for whatever reason, she, you know, I'm not gonna say for whatever reason, she likes to be viewed in a certain light on the show and stuff. So that's what she's gonna give us. And quite honestly, I don't care enough to try to pry it out of her or try to turn the spotlight onto like what y'all got going on there. I don't even care that much. I genuinely don't. But I just find it comical that you try to lend yourself in these ways and stuff, but you're not keeping it 100% real. That's so weird to me. I'm glad Phaedra said something professional, like no Sherlock, like whatever. And this is when we also get some commentary from Dr. Alicia, who shares that her and her husband, they grew up very, very differently. She was raised by a single mom. He was raised to where, you know, around him and stuff, being Nigerian, he was surrounded by support in the forms of drivers, hired help, et cetera, and we actually got it, like I said before, we actually got a confessional from her, y'all. But that has caused issues and caused her to kind of maybe say some things that she probably shouldn't have said in her marriage, which totally understand her. She says she wants to learn how to be more submissive. Okay. Again, this is only layer 1 with them, so I'm not going to go full throttle just yet, but y'all keep all this in the back of your mind for episodes to come. That's all I can say. She would tell him he's not a man because basically she was She was Barb the builder in that bitch, basically. And she was the one hammering and nailing everything up and stuff like that. So she would tell him that he's not a man and stuff like that. I don't really ever think that, for me, it's never a matter of like, oh, I need to tell you you're not a man for this, and you need to tell me I'm not a woman for this. It's not even a matter of that, of man versus woman stuff in here, as much as I feel like it should just be about like partner. Like, because I'll sit here and I'll tell you right now in front of him that I completely, and I have no qualms in saying so, no, I married and want a partner that's gonna kill all the spiders or the bugs or whatever. Or I shouldn't have said that. On a lot of those spiders and bugs or whatever, they gonna take care of the bugs and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't want no parts of that. No, that's, you do it. Get somebody else to do it. I don't do the, I can't do the creepy crawlers, y'all. I just can't. Sorry. If you love the bugs, then good for you. I don't. They freak me out. So I know that's something, and again, that probably sounds like heavenly right now, but that's just a random thing I thought of on the top of my head. Obviously, there's more things of greater importance and stuff that I sought out in a partner and vice versa. So again, when saying things like that, I don't think there's an issue with, having certain things that you would like your partner to do for you or whatever. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just how you go about those things, and also not saying things that could be verbally like damaging and stuff. But again, I can't just say that without saying they communicate weird or don't even communicate, apparently, because Simone says that, okay, first of all, when he's around, when her husband's around, she's very, very reserved, and she just kind of smiles and waves. She's very quiet. Meanwhile, when he's not around, she's very opinionated. She's very outspoken. She basically day and night. And I find that very, 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 very weird, y'all, when people show up differently, especially in front of their partner. Like, if you can't be bare bones in front of them, then you may have to censor yourself sometimes at work. You may have to freaking censor yourself in front of your kids, or whatever, or your freaking in-laws or something. Okay, I understand that, but you should be able to let all of that go in front of your partner. And if you don't, what type of way is that to live? Like, that sounds very, very not a house that I want to be in. So yeah, when you say things like, I want to learn how to be more submissive, and then I'm also hearing on this hand that you're two different ways, like, you know what that tells me? That one day you just, and this is by no means, y'all, am I wishing for this to happen or anything like that, or even trying to say like the most ultimate way, but usually when people are like that and stuff like that, and just holding in and stuff like that, then one day they're just gonna snap and have a breakdown probably. And I don't want to see that happen. I don't feel like that needs to happen, when, just like my sister said, if you can't be yourself, they are not for you. Like, that's what that should tell you. There's certain things that you should not have to, like, you shouldn't have to just be changing day and night to be with somebody, or to be able to tolerate somebody, or have them be able to tolerate you, or anything like that. Or it shouldn't even be about tolerating. You should genuinely like the person that you're with, and vice versa. And you see how I said like, y'all, because there's a difference between like and love. There's a difference between being in love. There's a lot of differences to this. So you guys should be able to hit all these wickets for one another without you having to change anything about yourself. Because what advice would you give your children? Like, oh yeah, just smile and wave? No, I don't like that. So But all they can, really tell her is to watch her words. Whatever. Okay. And I hope those guys gave him the advice too of, hey, maybe you should be more hands-on with your kids, so it's not like rocket science when she wants to go on a girls trip. I hope we were both giving advice like that. But I feel like they didn't give him none of that type of advice or advice in general. They probably didn't see anything weird about him not watching his kids by himself for over 5 years. Anyway, and like I said before, Dr. O and Phaedra, they broke up. She's on to a new doctor, apparently. Do we care? I don't really care. If y'all care, I mean, that's cool. But I believe it when I see it. How about that? Sorry. Y'all know this computer is right up against this huge window, and I just see this light. And it actually reminded me, and Ranting, I don't know if you're still in here, but it reminded me, like, when Hagrid freaking dropped Harry off, like, and it was just like a light, and it just looked like that. So I don't know. I thought maybe I was getting my Hogwarts letter. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. But y'all, I appreciate y'all being here. I definitely appreciate you guys being here and thugging it out with me for this video. And did you guys catch all of the did you guys catch the interviews and the lives and all that stuff? Or I can, because I said earlier, you guys can come up if you would like to come up, and we can talk about it if you guys would like to before I get off here. Your thoughts or whatever on this episode or the lives or interviews or anything like that. I'll drop it. There you go. Hi, Feisty. Hi.
How are you? You look so pretty tonight.
Thank you.
I'm not going to get on because I do look like a bald-headed ski jumper, but
no, you're pretty too.
I am, but I literally got some Sealy braids. A certain somebody was hitting on my Sealy braids the other night. I don't appreciate it. My feelings still hurt.
I got a hair appointment on Thursday, so I'm gonna just leave that there.
Come on, Bonnet Chronicles.
I'm rocking this bonnet. I actually have to do something to my hair. I have to do something to my hair tomorrow because I got a job to go do in the morning. But
yeah.
First of all, they tricked you, cousin. How they gonna trick you? Talking about we got your Hogwarts letter and we gonna bring little baby Harry to you, and then it's not even true. It's the computer.
I thought it was gonna happen. I thought it was my time to shine. The window is right here.
It's so rude.
I'm currently opening up my my latest delivery from Bath and Body Works with no shame.
Ooh, what is it?
Oh, I ordered some candles, but the reason why I said no shame is because I usually have multiple deliveries happening.
She has a candle problem.
I do have I'm not gonna lie.
We're not joking. We're not lying. She has a candle problem.
I do.
I wonder if you have more than me because I have a candle problem.
She has been hidden.
Well,
I'll do a candle collection discussion. Yeah, I gotta show you.
Do you have a closet dedicated to it?
It's not even just Bath and Body Works because I've been making it a point to order from some Black-owned companies. By the way, I'm gonna send you the link. Listen.
I also
and they have
Girl Scouts.
They have a sample kit that you can get like the smaller versions of their candles so that you can get listen.
Stop! I might have to. I owe myself a Christmas present, so yeah.
My Christmas present to myself after I pay bills will be a pair of boots.
Come on, Boots.
Pick a wall, Boots.
Pick a wall. And you know that's the only reason why I want these particular pair of boots.
Pick a wall, Boots. You got to keep that leg up.
So
I
I can
have a
kick
question.
leg up and say pick a wall.
I have a question. So, I was in someone else's live earlier today. I'm sorry, I'm literally opening these candles and smelling them like I don't know what they smell like.
I did
So
the
if
same
you hear
thing.
noise, that's what that is.
I was trying to
So,
open some orange juice.
to not be repetitive, my question for this conversation is in pertaining to Dr. Heavenly's live with Carlos last night. What do you think, Barb, is their intention behind proving that Quad had quote unquote humble beginnings? They make it a point to say what place she was in financially when she met Gregory, who she was living with, where she was living, where she's from, what her background is. And they intentionally, in my opinion, omit the fact that she is a college educated woman or her previous work history in pharmaceuticals and medical equipment. So they always talk about Quad pre-show. Oh, babe, I got to call these people. One of these candles is broke.
Uh-oh.
Okay. We gonna calm down. One of the things that annoys me is that they only talk about it from one aspect. And I would like to know, what do you think the intention is behind people who are saying that your friend, your sister, making it a point to say that you was having to live with someone else or that you were homeless at one point in your life?
It can't be nothing other than they want to, like, they're not your friend and they want to somehow embarrass you, or let the public know things that, I mean, I don't think that you should ever be embarrassed. Like, we all have our different paths and journeys and stuff like that. That's okay. I would never judge anybody on that. Sometimes people out there that think that that's rude and think that that's like going to do something, and for some people who hone in on those types of things, it might come across as a read or tea or whatever. I don't feel like all the emphasis should just be placed on that. I think it's just it should be about the total person and stuff. And yeah, that may have happened, and they're here now that this happened. Like, why is that your focus unless you were trying to use that as a read or a dig?
Or to embarrass her, right? Because she said something about Quad living with Quad or whatever. So Quad made it a point in her interview with Carlos to say, well, Mariah and I were never roommates. That's not true. And she was very agitated last night about that. You let her lie. She did live with that lady. She did. It was okay. Let's say it's true. Let's say everything you guys and Mariah, who said all of this out of anger, everything she's ever said about Quad is true in terms of she was homeless. I had to give her a place to stay. I had to let her give her a couple of dollars from time to time. Let's say all this is true, right? Why are you bringing it up now, if not to embarrass her?
Exactly, because that wasn't rolling off your tongue fast when you guys were quote unquote in a better space.
In the context, if she was saying, I was never homeless, and you're like, oh, you were, then you're just fact checking. But they managed to bring it up all the time as if to say, it just feels like from day one of this show, and maybe that's why I empathize with her, because I can relate to some of this stuff. I can admit my bias. I can relate to some of the stuff that Quad has experienced. I've experienced it myself from a different aspect. Nobody wants to be told you don't belong. When you come into the room, you don't belong. You don't deserve your seat at the table. And having to fight the urge to constantly prove, yes, I do, yes, I do, yes, I do. And it feels like when it comes to this friend group, they make it a point when she has something good going for herself to remind her that you're not as fabulous as you think you are. And that to me is hurtful, not only to experience, but to witness as well.
It is.
The way that they treat Quad, the way that they treated Anila, we could throw Comtessa in there because she got some of it, but both of them haven't gotten it as worse as Quad. I realized for Dr. Superiority Complex, Dr. Big Mouth Bass, Dr. I Lie About Everything, and Miss I Play Tennis, Everything that y'all have done to these women, people have done to y'all. Like the "you don't belong here," Heavenly, Jackie, what's the other one's name? Simone.
Yeah.
All of y'all have gotten that same energy from your white colleagues when you decided to become a doctor and enter into medical school, and you probably got it in college too. You don't belong here. And y'all felt the need to have to prove that you did belong here. So on top of you being Black women in America trying to get into male-dominated fields, you worked 100 times harder to prove that not only do you belong here, but you can do the job just as great, like better than your counterparts. And then for, Miss I Play Tennis, everything that they have ever said to you, you've said to all the new girls coming on the show because you wanted to punk them. Because shout out to Mother Feisty, she's always wanted a flunky. Everything you've ever said to them has already been said to you, but you feel like, oh, that just rolls off my back and I'm going to just say it to someone else. But that's projection. They've all projected onto other people things that have been done to them. And at some point, you got to end the cycle. I'm sorry, but they too old to be mean girls. Y'all in y'all 40s and y'all 50s. Y'all could be my mama and my grandma's age. Please stop.
If what Heavenly is saying is true, so my whole point has always been, as a day one fan of the show, never quit watching it. Has rewatched multiple times, include early this year.
We just rewatched a piece of the reunion last night.
Yes, I just watched a little bit.
I'm actually about to, because they're making me seem like I'm crazy, and I know I'm not crazy.
Hold on.
If you want to binge it together, just say the word.
Yeah, I figured out a way for us to all watch it. So if you want to watch it, just let me know.
But sorry, I got distracted. I really lost my train of thought. As a day one fan of the show, nobody has been more vicious than Toya Bush Harris. She has always gone after families. Starting with Mariah's. She's always gone after families. She's always gone below. And if what Heavenly is saying is true, she accused Dr. Alicia, the new lady's husband, of fraud.
Yep.
So I'm just wondering why we're not holding the same level of standard across the board. It just gives every reason they throw at the wall. They're just hoping something sticks. And for some people, it does. Again, as somebody who likes Quad, who's always been a fan of Quad, and who likes what she brings to the show, the energy she brings to the show, you don't fit in this group anymore. And for me, again, as somebody who has been in your shoes, I'll explain that later if you guys want. But it's uncomfortable to watch the Mean Girl gang up. That's literally why I no longer watch Basketball Wives. I refuse to watch it as long as Evelyn Lozada is on there. And I can't stand Shawnee O'Neal. You ranting, I've gotten nearly suspended on Twitter for calling her COON.
Yeah, I know.
So and I'm saying that gang up thing is not something that's enjoyable for me to watch. I would actually prefer for her not to be on this show amongst the cast of women who are always going to find a reason to look their nose down on her and come after her. I also think that although she doesn't belong on this show, she doesn't fit on this show anymore with this particular cast, she deserved a better exit than she got. It should not have taken place that way as the breakout star of this show. And
she deserved the Tammy exit.
She deserved the Tammy exit, and it was very disheartening and disappointing to not only watch play out, but to also watch them make excuses for it online.
She said her sister circle friends were her real friends. She didn't thank us. And Dr. Superiority Complex, if I hear one more time that Quad needs to apologize for thanking the Sister Circle girls, I'm going to have to once again, like they did on Twitter, bring up that reunion where that man sat up there and all but said it with words. He said, there have been times where it has gotten extremely physical and it has hurt me to my heart. And when she explained all the abuse that was happening, he just nodded his head yes. And nobody really had her back except for Heavenly and Contessa.
I remember that.
And even then, Contessa's husband was tapping her on the leg to tell her to shut up. And Mariah backstage, when it was said, the look on her face said, "Oh, I already knew all this." She said, and she even said, "That's horrible." But then when you get on stage on your side of the couch, shout out to Big Mouth Bass, I always had to defend my side of the couch. Don't say that. He could lose his license. Don't say that. Heavily yesterday, he can lose his license. We don't know that for sure.
Because it only matters that about the people that have license.
Yeah. Everyone else is devalued.
Someone else has anything to lose. That is something to me, because I don't like when people downplay other stuff.
Lives. People have lives to lose.
You don't know what the heck. Like, you're not going to compare your stuff to my stuff and make it seem like I am not allowed to defend or feel a way about you doing that. Like, no, that's
they couldn't be my doctors. I'm sorry. They couldn't be my doctors whatsoever. One, talking about the mortality rate of Black women and how we complain a lot because we want to get off work.
I didn't understand that.
My mom had my sister when she was in her 30s. Me and my brother, I was born when she was in her teens. My brother was born in her very early 20s.
Girl, I'm about to tap in. Go ahead, tell me so I can tell y'all officially what it looked like, what it sound like.
My sister was born in, like, my mom was in her 30s when she had my sister. My mom, at 4 months pregnant, like, had extreme back pain and could not work anymore. So she actually had to go on maternity leave very much early, and it had to go through her doctor to approve everything because she could not work with that much back pain. And before they put her on maternity leave, they had tried everything. They said, well, try doing these exercises, try taking this medication, try sleeping this way, try putting heat on it. All these things were said for her to do before they actually just gave her the letter to give to her job for her to go on leave. Don't play with me. And then my sister ended up being born early. Like, my mom went in, like, water broke, went into labor early, months early. Nobody was at home. She had to call the people to come and get her herself.
So, Ranting, are you done? I don't want to interrupt.
I'm done, because, listen, quit playing with me. Like, Dr. Superiority Complex, girl, stop it. Stop
so
it.
Officially, for working people, for working birthing parents, let me keep it official, because not everybody considers themselves a quote-unquote mother. For working birthing parents, you are entitled to something called FMLA. This is my department. Now, even if you qualify or don't qualify for FMLA, most states, almost every state actually in this country, has leave plans to cover federal leave plans to cover pregnancy disability, which is any type of bed rest you may need before delivery, and actual maternity. Maternity can be 6 to 8 weeks depending on what delivery method you have. So 6 weeks for natural, what they refer to as a natural birth, and 8 weeks for a C-section. Sometimes those get extended because, as we all know, childbirth is very dangerous, and your maternity can be extended depending on what took place during the childbirth. You may have an extended disability after childbirth as a result of delivery. Either way, you are federally inclined to time off. Now, you get 12 weeks of entitlement per minimum, no matter what. For if you have FMLA, you get 12 weeks off the grip. Most people work up until they deliver, and then they take the remaining time off. Like I said, let's say you have a natural birth. That's 6 weeks. You still got 6 weeks left, right? Let's do the math. Most people, most birthing parents decide to take that time off to bond with their child, to bond with the baby. You can also use, if you are a non-birthing parent, you can use your FMLA just for bonding. You're not giving birth to the child, but you can bond with the child after they are delivered, are born. Mm-hmm. If a birthing parent chooses to, instead of using that extended time for bonding, if they want to take that time off prior to giving birth, you still using it one way or another. The only thing is, you don't have to get a doctor's certification, a medical certification signed by a doctor, to get to use parental bonding, but you do to have pregnancy disability. Now, again, if you got back pains, if you work a type of job, if you're employed somewhere that requires you to stand on your feet all day or to be in discomfort, you can explain that to your doctor and they can sign the paperwork saying they need to be pulled out of work on such time. I'm saying this as somebody that looks at medical paperwork. There are people who aren't set to deliver until March, and their doctors are pulling them out this month because it can cause distress for the baby. And as we all know, childbirth is very dangerous. When we are putting this extra strain on our bodies leading into childbirth, it can make for a terrible delivery, which can result in high mortality rates. It was very uninformed to make that comment again, because if the per her logic, if mothers are saying this just so they can get the time off, they're going to get the time off one way or another, whether they're doing it before they give birth or after they give birth. You getting 12 weeks per minimum. And that's if you don't work for a company that has an extended leave plan that they provide through for their employees, or if you live in a state, shout out to California, you can take up to 9 months off work after giving birth to a baby. You can do that in California one way or another. Like they have 12 weeks of FMLA, and they also have a state leave plan that also you can take an additional 12 weeks. Some people be out for nearly a year giving birth in California. I'm saying, why you bother that they want to take time off of work so that they are not uncomfortable during their pregnancies? It just didn't make any sense as someone who, like I said, who reads the medical paperwork every day, who understands the distress that women are in, who's, like I said, not violating HIPAA. I'm going to go that deep, but I'm saying that I don't have any children. I've never given birth, but I understand that it's very dangerous. She should understand more than me. Why are you bothered that these women want to take time off work?
It's that I'm gonna say it's that, to me, it's that superiority complex coming in. If we just gonna disregard what Buffy said because I don't trust the thing that comes out of her mouth. But if you have patients who are trying to get out of not get out of work, let me rephrase that. You have patients who have like feel different pains, and some of the women who come to you are really first time mothers. Like we see her working with Brad is a first time mother. This is the first time she's ever been pregnant in her life, and she's at a particular age, and you had to tell her because she wants to work up until she gives birth. She wants to be productive. You can't do that. You are of a certain age. You're a black woman. Mortality rate. You're growing a baby. You actually need to rest. I feel like she's talking about her patients who are not, or patients she's dealt with in the past who are not of the celebrity status. Because the girls are like Brat is of celebrity status, and Judy is her wife. So either way, the bills was gonna get paid over there. Bills are still gonna get paid with Dr. Superiority Complex. But I feel like if it's the girls who are, let me rephrase that, birthing parents, because not everybody, um, identifies as she, birthing parents who don't have the celebrity status that you are used to when it comes to your different patients that you got like the bolster about, that we saw you hop from reality show to reality show to reality show because you were their doctors, and this is who you're talking about. Them people still gonna pay you. You're gonna get paid either way for being their doctor. But when it comes down to it, a lot of first time mothers, based off the people that I've met, they worry a lot about every little thing because it's the first time they've ever been pregnant. This is going to be their first baby. They want to make sure they're doing every little thing possible to make sure that this baby comes out happy and healthy and a bouncing newborn. We don't really care the gender of the child. We just want the baby to be healthy. You most of the time see them whenever a child is born and something happens. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, what did I do wrong for, maybe the baby to be sick or the baby to, unfortunately, when giving birth naturally, maybe the cord is wrapped around the baby's neck. What The mothers be like, well, what did I do? You didn't do anything. These are things that just happen. So, of course, a first time mother is going to, if she's having different pains or if something new is happening, she doesn't know what it is, of course, she's going to come to you, because that's another thing that was said in the, that live she did with Heavenly. Oh, well, if you come see, if I'm seeing you 25 times out of 25 times in your pregnancy and you're crying wolf about everything, it's kind of hard to figure out if you're crying wolf or telling the truth, if something is really happening. If it's a first time mother, she gonna come to you for everything. And then after, based off the people I know that have had children, because I don't have no kids, I don't plan on having anytime soon, and I don't plan on using this uterus. Okay, but from what I have heard, every single pregnancy is different. No pregnancy is the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just, oh, well, your pregnancy is different than that person's pregnancy. No, every pregnancy that somebody's body has to go through is different. It's never going to be the same.
Can I
So,
can I jump in right here really quick too? I
yes.
think another factor to point out in terms of why a lot of mothers may need extended period of time off of work, a lot of people already have pre-existing health conditions or
Mm-hmm.
chronic health conditions, and when they do get pregnant, they're not able to take some of their medication that they would normally take to keep them from having certain flare-ups or episodes. So they're going through 9 to 10 months of having to deal with other health issues, or just again having this, this alien in your body taking all your nutrients and stuff. So you just don't have the energy that you normally would have to get through your days. Like, there's a number of reasons. It just gives off, the way she said it, that there are a lot of women who are lazy and they're using their babies to not have to work. But I just want to point out again, I'm gonna get the time off regardless, whether I take it before I give birth or after I give birth. If I want to take it beforehand, why you bothered by that?
Like that makes us like that right there makes no sense to me. And it is true. I've heard about a lot of women who say you have depression, like you deal with depression, you deal with anxiety, you deal with OCD. They will go off of their medication if they are pregnant because they want to give their child the best chance. And even if for some they tell you the medication is not going to be a problem to the baby, they still go off of it because I, you can say that, but I got fears and worries over here. I'm just going to ride out the next 9 to 10 months, or however long it's, if they decide to breastfeed, it may be longer, off this medication or on a lower dosage.
As you guys can see in the comments, we have two mothers right here that said, each pregnancy they had were different. So going back, I think Festi, you said like it was giving very tone deaf, and I don't even know why I cared that much, because it's literally the truth. But I was like, no, like maybe I shouldn't say that. But this is literally how I felt at first, where it's like, yeah, there's something missing, because you can't sit here in our faces, with Kamala Harris and be talking about, this issue, but then are doing, like, in your mindset tells me that you may actually be doing things that contribute to this still happening. So it's like, how can that be coming out the same person's mouth? But let me just stop right there, because according to Heavenly, she's professional, she can do no wrong, she doesn't lie, everything is good when it
But
comes to
that's
practice.
if you think about it, the crazy thing is the three people up here haven't had children.
And we all can see that.
We all can empathize with the, like, the birthing parent, because once again, not everybody identifies as a mother or a woman, and they may not be the specific gender of a woman when giving birth. You may have a transgendered man giving birth, right?
Yeah.
We all can understand and empathize and sympathize with the people going through this. I don't understand how, once again, Dr. Superiority Complex can't. And somebody, it's not gonna be me. Maybe y'all can do it. Somebody go check on Sleepy Time Tea and see how she's doing. I am worried that she poured her a big old glass of Crown Royal and had two flasks, one with light, one with dark, and they say she carries them flasks around everywhere. I'm worried. So not me. Not me. Um, not a fan. Not a fan whatsoever. Not me.
I'm good.
But somebody out there in the world, check on her. Because I'm pretty sure I'm very close to getting blocked because I've said things.
They make it so easy though. Like
they do.
Can I say this too, and then I'm gonna wrap it on up for myself? I'm gonna just listen to what y'all got to say. You know, Dr. Heavily made it a point to say what was told to her in terms of quads and negotiations for her contract. And we know that's a gross violation. Ooh. I'm trying to figure out why there's so much attitude about what Quad. I don't believe Quad said it directly to the Bravo execs. Quad is signed by one of the biggest agencies in the country. There are people who speak on her behalf to get her the bag. And if they did compare what she makes in comparison to what Jackie makes, they were doing their job. Their pay is based off of what they get their client. That's how that works, right? I don't know why it's being held against her. But since we talking negotiations, let's do it. We have 2 OBs on this show. Mm-hmm. Only one is getting all these opportunities, for example, to speak to the vice president. What is happening in Dr. Jackie's negotiations so that she gets all these opportunities over Simone? Let's talk, since we're talking negotiations. Why is it that when all these big opportunities happen on this show, you're the only one that are getting these opportunities? Mm-hmm. What is your team saying on your behalf so that you're prioritized over Simone, your friend?
These are questions that need to be answered.
Because again, if it was just the network being like, this is a great opportunity, we want to see both of our doctors do this and that. If you notice, for the last several years, it's been Dr. Jackie on her own. And there's definitely a separation between the two in terms of the opportunities, the businesses, the growth expansion. I'm saying somebody's doing their job for Dr. Jackie, and I ain't mad at it. I'm saying somebody's clearly placing you as a bigger priority than the other doctors on this show. Why are you so special that we can't talk about what you're saying in closed meetings, closed negotiations, but we can hold what Quad's people are saying for her on her behalf?
Particularly one who's in the same field as her.
Yeah, I do find that kind of weird. I don't feel like, I mean, obviously we weren't in the room, but I don't feel like if that was something that Quad herself had any dealings with doing, I never once sat here and thought that it was going to come from the angle of like, oh, well, she shouldn't be making that much money because this, that, and other thing. As much as it, even if it was brought up, it was probably used, yes, as a comparative tool, so to speak, but not to say that she shouldn't be getting this. But who else are we going to compare it to? Like, I'm not going to go compare it to the salaries of an astronaut. Like, who else? Like, there has to be somebody else, you know.
This person is getting paid this much and they don't do a lot. I'm expected to do this. I should be getting paid just as much or possibly more than them. I wouldn't hold that personal when we all trying to get our check, because every last one of you on the show got people negotiating for y'all.
And you also, at the time of her negotiating, because she missed 5 weeks of filming, for the people who decided not to watch the full interview, part 1, because they felt like Carlos was being biased, but Carlos was doing the same thing he does in all of his sit downs.
For everybody.
He does it for everybody. He did it for Nene, he did it for Jocelyn, he did it for Erica, even though I couldn't stand her.
Baby, he did it for what's her name? Royce Reed. He literally does it for every single person.
He did
Barb, if you go on there right now, you're gonna be the best YouTuber in these streets. He does it for everybody.
Yes, he does it for everybody. They felt
he gasses everybody up when they come on his show so they can let their guard down.
Yes, he did it for everybody. Like
you're doing one-on-one.
Right.
It's so like it's unnecessary to be agitated by that, but people are just, for whatever reason, determined to either misunderstand or just dislike Quad.
All the people, and we saw one. Listen, Barb, we was in the same chat today. We saw one person say it. I'm gonna put it in the private chat. But
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you could put it in there, but I think I know what you're talking about. Because people are starting in the middle, and this is why I kept saying this time. Why are
Barb, you so smart, girl? Oh my God, it's overwhelming how smart you are.
Everybody started in the middle. Nobody wants to actually, nobody actually wanted to sit down and watch the entire thing. Spicy can tell you, we watched that entire thing.
So did paused it in between too.
Yeah, Now, I also figured out a way to watch, Married to Medicine and Potomac. If you won't do that with us on a good Sunday, you will always do it. But we watched the full thing, and it was like, everybody else just like listening, and they were like, "Well, I couldn't sit and watch it. I clicked out after 10 minutes because he was so biased." And it's just like he does this in all of his sit downs. This
Every
is
last
nothing.
one of them.
This is
He said the
nothing.
same stuff he said to Quad. He said to Mariah when he talked to her. Everybody gets the. He be saying that to Heavenly when he be live with her.
Yeah,
That's
like
how he get her let that guard down and spill too much tea and get in trouble with production.
he does that. Like when he actually does take it upon himself to interview the people who are on his shows, he does the same thing with them.
What's his favorite thing? The force multiplier.
Yes, but okay, I'm gonna just say this for the people in the back. When it comes down to, because I know the people didn't actually sit through, and for the people who didn't sit through the part one on one with Quad and Carlos Kang.
I did, but
like we sat there, we paused at some moments, we talked about it, and I was like, at the end of the
Quad
day,
don't bother me. Quad is
he does
long-winded, but I
like
know
that.
a lot of people that's long.
Yeah, it didn't bother me, but I'm just like, okay,
She
what's going
she doesn't bother me. I was like, she got her stuff with her, but she ain't did nothing to me.
Yeah, I get that she not for everybody, and that's cool. Y'all ain't gotta like her. I just, again, flying her out and for her only to be there less than 24 hours, making her come out of her room at like 2 a.m. just to tell her she gotta go. That's messed up.
Before I get back to this, one more thing. When she was in that hotel room packing up all her stuff, like I empathize with her and I sympathize with her. And I've had that moment in my life where, not where I had to pack my bags because somebody didn't, told me to come here and then told me I had to leave. But the moment where you're like, they just don't like me. When she was like, they just don't like you, Quad. They just don't like you. I've had those moments. Where I was like, they just don't like you. Now,
and if you're gonna do, and nothing you can do to make them like you.
Right. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do to make these people like me. I've had those moments. So I was like, I know what that I know what that has felt like. And I was like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, because that's nasty. That does something to you mentally and emotionally.
Go out of your way to do that. You could literally just go your separate ways and not say anything bad about them. They don't say anything bad about you, and just
right. I was like, the one thing
act ugly though.
I was like, I could say about the people that I had that interaction with, that it was just like they just don't like me, and there's nothing I could do to make them like me. At least I can say I was younger when this happened, and they didn't fly me out somewhere only to dog me out multiple occasions and then send me home less than 24 hours later. But let's get into this whole what Quad said that made the ladies upset and made them want to ice her out. I've never known employees to be able to fire other employees. That makes no sense to me. None of y'all have an EP credit on this show. None of y'all are creators of the show. Y'all are employees of NBC Universal by way of Bravo TV. Y'all are employees. You can't fire nobody else. That don't make no sense. But I feel like the smart people knew that Quad wasn't the one doing negotiations for herself in order to say, well, I did X, Y, and Z, so I should be making this much. Especially, she's been doing this for 10 plus years. She has an agent. And it does not matter if it was Quad in the room talking or her agents and her lawyers in the room talking. Whatever was said in that room between both sides was not supposed to get out to anyone except for their clients. And most of the time, they don't even tell their clients that. They just tell them the facts and the figures, nothing else that's been said.
Yeah.
So when Heavenly decided to open her soup coolers and say, well, Quad said this in negotiations, and this is why we're all upset. And then those women set up on those Instagram lives and continue to pick and go at her. You opened up NBC Universal, Bravo, and whatever production company is working for Bravo to film your show to a lawsuit. In negotiations, you're supposed to keep your mouth shut. Yes, this is the entertainment business, but the entertainment business as itself is corporate. These are Fortune 500 companies, whether people want to believe it or not. This is a corporation. You shut up about what's going on in negotiations, and you don't open your mouth about what somebody came back and told you. So when Heavenly opened her mouth, you then went back and said something that was never supposed to be repeated in the first place. And now production has started to get at y'all one by one, or y'all have all decided to kind of try to take each other out one by one. Because Heavenly, y'all set up on the live with Phaedra, and with Quad close to tears, production comes in and tell y'all to shut this down. At Instagram Live, you didn't force these people to break the fourth wall to tell y'all to shut this down because this woman is close to tears. Oh no. And then the next live y'all do, production has to come in when y'all talk about, well, I don't know how she got to California. I don't know how she made it to Napa. I don't know how she got to the resort. Why would she come? Who invited her? Production once again has to break the fourth wall to hop in said Instagram Live and tell y'all, we invited her. Just like we invited her to the bachelorette party. We did it. So now, y'all doing both things. Y'all have made them waste money. Because not only did they waste money on Creonta, they did. She's not giving anything. She wasn't dating that man, no way. We don't even know if he exists. Not only did they waste money on Creonta and fire, I'm going to just say it, fire Anila and Contessa. Allegedly, Alicia was a main cast member that got dropped down to a friend of a show. And that's why we don't see a lot of her talking, because they're not using her scenes, allegedly, because Phaedra costs too much. You then have Sleepy Time and Turtle Shell over there. Don't nobody care about them. But y'all paying her peanuts because you make peanuts in the first season. And not even salted peanuts. You make circus peanuts. And then Quad has negotiating her contract, gone 5 weeks, and for somehow has made it in every single episode up until now. We don't know what's going to happen when y'all go on the hiatus for the holidays, because y'all not coming back until after the new year. They probably going to try to work her into all the other episodes. They just wasted money not only negotiating with her, but also y'all have made them waste money because we can't use her. Y'all employees trying to fire another employee. If you're icing her out and refuse to film with her, we can't really use her for anything. We tried to get as much as we could, but not what we thought we were going to get. So y'all have made them waste money and slightly lose money. And on top of them doing they were filming during the time of both strikes. Writers went on strike in April. Actors went on strike in May.
How did you guys what information were they basing it off of when Heavenly when she said that Quad is number 5 on the show?
Number 5 on the show, she's basing this off of stuff that she claims production told them. Yes, this is legitimately everything she's saying is based off of, unless it's stuff that they alleged happened at the dinners and in the hotel rooms and all that stuff. She's basing this stuff off of things she said production told them, which once again, even if they told you this, you are not supposed to say anything. Because
hold up. Let me come in with my big Creonta energy.
Oh my gosh.
Heavenly be saying, Heavenly said that she be making sure that Quad get the bag and keep the job. So maybe she knew the people wanted to let Quad go anyway. So she just handed her up this lawsuit. Because that's essentially what she did, was put a lawsuit in her hand, because you're not supposed to discuss my negotiations with somebody else. Now, I don't seriously mean that, but I had to troll just a little bit.
I mean, whether she...
I ain't talking to you all day. Go ahead.
Yeah, Big U energy. Whether she meant to do it or not, you did hand a lawsuit. Also, I'm trying to figure out who's going to get y'all first. Are y'all going to turn on each other first, or is production going to get y'all first? Because, like I said, they're not coming back until after the new year. They have time to edit these other episodes however they want to edit them. Know that. They have time to do whatever they want to do to the rest of these episodes, because you've made them break the fourth wall multiple times. You've possibly opened them up to Quad suing NBC Universal, Bravo, and a production company for telling her business to y'all. Listen, you Heavenly just don't know when to stop talking, and then giving away certain stuff that they probably were going to save for flashbacks and probably to play at the reunion. And then Heavenly basically telling production she's not afraid of them on Twitter.
I'm trying to figure out why she called us all bots. I don't understand why she thought we were bots.
Ain't nobody, we're not
because
bots.
the way they feel like Quad is beneath them. So the only way that she can have support is if it's a bot. She don't have real people out here supporting her. She don't have real people that think she was done wrong. So it has to be a bot. It has to be a bot, especially if you starting off the sentence with, I don't even like Quad, but this was dirty. You can't be turning on us for Quad saying we did something wrong, not us, not the doctors.
Child, please.
I'm just saying that, but that's what their response is. And Dr. Hosmart over there, Quad, none of us have an emotional attachment to you, much like your teeth and your gums don't have an emotional attachment to your mouth.
Just like her husband and her children don't really have an emotional attachment to her, but for the money and the money only. I mean, it's what it shows.
They have an emotional attachment for a little bit of access to the money.
You gotta stop. Listen, big mouth badass over there. You told Quad when y'all sat down, and this wasn't the first time, this wasn't the second time. Heavenly said it, Funky Dineva said it, and now Quad has said it, that y'all sat down before that reunion last year, and Quad asked you, what have I done to you? And you told her nothing. But you got to,
defend her side of the couch.
You got to defend your side of the couch. So I'm going to just say this. When it comes down to it, Quad never actually had to hop on a plane with you and Jackie to go find your father. She didn't have to do that. She did it out the kindness of her heart. She really didn't have to do that. So when it comes down to that, you should never have an issue with her, because she was knocking on door. She was going door to door. You just can't be knocking on people's doors like that. People crazy out here.
Yeah.
And Heavenly, I mean, you sitting up here and projecting onto Quad saying, well, you call me your sister and you do X, Y, and Z to me. You didn't even have anything that she did to you if it hadn't been for Dr. Superiority Complex telling you what she did to you. Y'all acting like we forgot what you said in that hotel room when you said, if it wasn't for this one right here, I would have continued being friends with her. And she had to point it out to me, everything that Quad has done to me, even though I have helped her. What has she done to you? You, every time y'all get that good, come back and, basically shank her in the stomach, figuratively. Calling her all types of mistresses and hoes and, so on and so forth. Alleging she's sleeping with married men, which then, you know what? She should have sued you. I'm going to be honest. She still has a defamation case against you. She does. She could sue Mariah too. She could also sue Simone, because y'all are alleging she's sleeping with married men. Simone alleges she's sleeping with married men to get construction and carpentry work, because she doesn't understand.
Once again, if y'all have his number, can y'all
and it's married.
I ain't even say what I wanted it for.
Okay. Sleeping with a married man to get carpentry and construction work, because you've been with a man for 20 years and you've been in that house, and that's how you were able to afford it. But single women can't afford homes of that magnitude with all those square foots. Shout out to my mother on this stage. Yes, single women can afford all them square foots. Hell,
they do it every day. Some of y'all married and single, just saying.
Some of y'all are married and single,
like Simone,
all at the same time.
Because Cecil Spirit married to that woman he used to play golf with.
Yeah, that's why he be laughing.
Like Curtis married to that woman that's in the DR.
Mm-hmm. The one y'all told me I had to be in a corner for because all I said was the truth. He's somewhere down there with that lady allegedly. And then Jackie just has a superiority complex. Nobody can be better than her. Nobody can think they're better than her. Nobody can do more than her. It's probably why Simone is not at the level that, Dr. Superiority Complex is. Because how is it that y'all did the
Nah, I
same?
ain't gonna say that. I think Simone isn't ambitious. Now, I ain't gonna give her that much now. I have to
She's not ambitious?
respectfully disagree. She's not as ambitious as Jackie, though.
No.
Oh. Well, no, she wanted.
And it also it's possible that Simone is completely happy.
I believe both things, actually.
And doing what she's doing. I think she's happy in doing what she's doing. I think she finds enjoyment out of it.
I
But if
personally.
she was if she had the same mindset as Dr. Jackie, though, like, no, Dr. Jackie would be like, no, there can only be
No,
one.
I don't think that. But I mean, listen, even though I don't like the little horse mouth bitch, I've read her reviews and her patients say some really good things about how her bedside manner is and care. And then when you having something that feel like a Buick coming out your hoo-ha, you won't you want somebody that's going to be patient with you and not aggravated with you, especially if it's your first time around, or you're, because I don't want to put emphasis on the first you're actually really, really nervous, but each pregnancy and labor is different. So you need somebody that's going to be understanding and be compassionate and don't mind taking the extra time, with you if you need it. So, and that's what the reviews give about her. So she may be really comfortable with where she's at, but I don't think if she wasn't comfortable, she gives that she would just stay there until time to retire and go soak off somewhere. And when more money ain't coming in, her and Cecil gonna get divorced and he gonna retire on the golf course.
Well, she couldn't retire if she wanted to, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars out of her pocket for them children to go to school. She could, and buying condos for them. She couldn't retire.
Because why Cecil wasn't showing them that condo?
If I hear one more time that he's a real estate agent, I'ma throw something.
I don't know if I don't believe anything until I start seeing actual concrete receipts.
I need receipts.
That goes across the board.
Because even if the listing is with another agent, your agent still represents you in your interest, because the listing agent is representing the owner in their interest. So
I genuinely forgot he was real. Like, I completely forgot that until after I did my video and everything. Like, that's just how much absence there was. Like,
Can we talk about that turtleback heifer who was kicking his feet up like he was a little kid about to go get him some ice cream?
Well, this is why he wanted to be back. He'd been wanting to destroy Quad ever since he had to admit that he put hands on her.
Nah,
these women helped him facilitate that.
I think he's been wanting to destroy her since she didn't help him with the whole lady trying to blackmail him for being in a hotel room. I wasn't in there.
I say sister circle.
Sister circle? You think
the moment she got sister circle, that became the issue.
Listen, he's sitting up here just kicking his feet, just giddy. Oh my god, yeah, she's gone. It's just like, what do you think that's gonna do for you? Once again, the wife that you are currently with, they've only been together an actual full year, 6 months of dating, 6 months of marriage.
mm-hmm.
That's 1 year in a relationship. Well, it's probably 7 months now. Anyway, she making circus peanuts right now. She not making big money like Quad was making when y'all divorced. On top of her sister circle check,
right.
She's making circus peanuts because they don't make a lot on their first season. This is her first season, but Quad was right. Should have known they was on that BS because back in February, Dr. Big Mouth Bass posted on Instagram. Y'all remember the pictures we saw of them all taking couples pictures? It was Big Mouth Bass and that non-real estate agent she married to, Turtle and Sleepy Time and another couple. Hold on. This is what I'm gonna do, and you can bring it up. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to Big Mouth Bass Instagram and I'm gonna send it to you because
I just remember her. I just remember like it was Simone. I thought it was Toya, Jackie, or not Jackie, Toya, Simone, and Sweet Tea. The first time I ever saw who she was, I saw stuff from then, but I don't think I know what you're talking.
Find them pictures because this was like it was posted back in what was this? February.
I bet you when she get full access to her own money, they're gonna have more gravy on that chicken.
That chicken adobo was real light. It wasn't a lot of chicken and it was too much gravy. I just sent it.
It was not enough gravy, girl. The gravy didn't even cover the chicken. It was at the bottom of the pan.
Okay, so it wasn't enough gravy.
30 inches of chicken, 2 inches of gravy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, this is the same thing I was talking about, but I thought that was Toya for some
reason. No. Okay. So read the.
Hold on. Let me bring it up.
Sister, please. I have food in my mouth. Are you about to put up something crazy? That I'm gonna bust out laughing.
No. Why is this not popping? Oh, is it on Facebook? No,
it's on.
Why does it keep bringing me to Facebook? Oh, okay.
But look at this is the caption that Quad was talking about in the interview. And I was like, oh, yeah, I think y'all should have known they was up to something.
Okay, 1 second. Ooh, oh my God, what did I do? No, stop. Okay, I don't know what okay, hold on. Okay. That's wild.
Guys, I'm gonna drop, but I'll be listening.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for extending your commentary. That gave us a lot of more perspective. Okay.
Hey, I just want to know, Dr. Superiority Complex, was you down to the White House with the rest of the women's?
That's a good question. Inquiring minds would like to know.
Because Dr. Wendy was there.
So
I'm more interested in the other people. Why they couldn't be on the show?
He looks.
Girl, they shouldn't have posted that picture of her, girl. What the heck?
It was the Big Mouth Bass that posted this. Of course she was going to post a picture of somebody looking their best.
Their best?
Girl, what the caption say?
A night of fun. Stalking married to #married to med. #get ready. #TF. #just when you thought. I'm so happy for Dr. G. Yes, that part. No shade. LOL. But what?
That's what Quad was talking about when she said she should have known like an inkling of something was happening. Because why is it that in this picture you have only one other person other than you and your husband who have been on Married to Medicine? Why are you hashtagging Married to? Hold on, let me go back and read the hashtag so I have it correctly. Because I never get these things. And this was back in February.
But my thing is this: if they were really hanging with G like that, we didn't see them posting no pictures of G. Period.
They would have more pictures.
That none of those seasons of them hanging out.
Haven't seen this man since he left the show. Like,
right.
Now, I believe the men may hang out separately, but I don't believe that you was just so involved with G, and G was just so coming over and this, that, and the third because him and like I don't believe G was just hanging out in the house. The men might have had a boys' night maybe once a month or once every 2 months or something, and they might have saw him if he showed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't believe that they was hanging with G like that. Now, I do believe Eugene and G was hanging like that.
What is he wearing? Like, what?
Girl, jogging pants and tennis shoes.
Like, they don't go, like, he's wearing a light blue polo, a darker blue. What? Okay, I'm confused.
None of them. The only
don't they look like mailman pants?
Yeah, the only people who actually
they just have like random sweatpants that don't go with that top, and I'm really upset.
Like they don't. And why is it that y'all choose to take pictures on this day where not everybody like dressed up and these are low quality pictures. Once again, Dr.
And is that quad house in the background?
I held up my truck. They was gonna take these pictures.
Dr. Big Mouth Bass has been an op since the very beginning. But why is that it's hashtag married to man, hashtag get ready, hashtag TF, hashtag just when you thought you was up to something back in February.
I want to know who these other people are. I'm curious.
And didn't have the nerve to want to be talking about don't come for her. Girl, yeah, you did dirty.
Some man, this is obviously just a regular friend, and the lady is hairstyle. She's a hairstylist. These are just a regular friends. These are not doctors. But oh yeah, you're playing games. And I just want to say to the people in the back who say, well, it's Quad's karma because Quad got Mariah off the show. Quad iced Mariah off the show. No. Quad brought Mariah back around when they initially iced her off the show after they fell out because they had made up. When she brought her back, that is when Mariah started, as my mother likes to say, zhugging at her and saying things and teaming up with people to go against Quad. It wasn't until Mariah started saying and doing things to the other women on the show, like claiming Damon wanted to sleep with Miss Lucy, talking about Big Mouth Bass and her husband, talking about Jackie and her, Dr. Superiority Complex and that man that be in a D-aura, talking about Toya, who, I'm going to just be honest, I really wouldn't care about anything Mariah had to say about Toya, because you, in a packed hair salon, was talking about the paternity of her child. And at that time, the child didn't know that the man that she called father was not her biological father. Never when it comes to the situation. It wasn't until Mariah started saying and doing things to them that they felt the way like it was. Started doing stuff to them that they felt she needed to go because Quad did not have that much power, and them women did not like Quad then to push somebody off the show. And I also want to point out to the people in the back that Mariah still would have been on this show even if they were icing her out. Mariah still would have been on the show. She could have had friends of the show. Even though most of the time when she brought friends on the show, she was getting at them too, because Lisa Nicole Cloud had an issue with her. Mariah still would have been on the show because she was the creator and she was an executive producer. Had it not been for the legal situation that she got into with Bravo, had her and Bravo not had to take it to court like they did, and lawyers got involved, and now we got to get the law involved, she would still be on the show. So they would still give her a contract because we want to see y'all go back and forth. You feel like you better than them. They feel like you shouldn't be talking to them this way. We're going to put y'all in the same room together and see what happens. Mariah still would have been on the show even if they were icing out because an employee can't fire another employee. And at the time, Mariah next to Quad was like the biggest person they had. Had Mariah not got into the legal situation with Bravo and NBC Universal in production, she still would have been here.
I agree to that.
Pushed her off the show. Child, please. Looking at the stuff that Mariah said about these women, I was like, I'm surprised y'all. I'm surprised she lasted as long as she did.
Oh, child, you right. But I'm gonna drop down, child. I just really came up to say hey to you guys.
Hello.
I appreciate it. I'm about to get off here. I gotta go to Costco. Before I freaking watch Salt Lake City, because we'll be back with that tomorrow, y'all.
I'll be watching.
Barb, I have a question. Will I see you tomorrow for game night?
Say again.
Will I see you tomorrow for game night? It's Mariah Carey.
I'm not the most well versed on that, but yeah, I'll come. I'll come.
You can troll with your sister. She gonna troll anyway.
I will, because I know what I know about her.
Well, have fun at Costco. Get you some cake while you're there, and I'll see you later.
fine. Well, y'all, I hope you appreciated the cameos, because I know I did. Shout outs to my family for coming up here and joining me and lending their commentary on all things Married to Medicine. I hope that gives you guys even more context to everything I said and all of what you've been seeing play out online, on the show, and everywhere in between. But yeah, y'all, let's keep this conversation going even more in the comments below. But I'm about to get out of here. I appreciate everybody for coming on through, everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, if you haven't liked the video, go ahead, hit that like button on your way out. And I will see you guys. I'll see you guys actually tomorrow if you guys watch my Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reviews with my good sis California Cutie. We are the Coastal Critiques panel. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for that at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And yeah, I'll see you guys there. Bye.